Okay, so when Megan, like when the marriage announcement was announced and all of that, some people was like, yes, we started our revenge. An American is taken over. And so then on The View today, Megan says, you know, it'd be like ironic to see an American sort of, well, she didn't use the word ruin, but I can't think of, like, disassemble.
Yeah,
disassemble the monarchy. Oh my gosh, that's the plan all along.
What was the plan all along?
This overall plan to ruin the monarchy, to get back at England.
That was it. That was it.
It's just crazy. After I watched the movie, I mean, it was Megan who said, like, Megan, you know, like, it'll be very ironic to have an American, you know, disassemble me. But I was like,
it was all just an elaborate plan to get back at Britain. All this time.
Oh my god, that's so stupid and yet very funny, and I love it.
It was all just an elaborate ploy, Cynthia. There was never going to be true love fairy tale ending.
It made me chuckle. It made me really chuckle. I actually haven't seen a lot of the interview yet because it's gonna make me sad. Plus, I mean, I love Meghan Markle. I love her. What? Why am I on Zoom? Okay, is today? No, today is not. I have to find a roommate. Ugh.
I'll be your roommate.
I mean, honestly, you want to go to Augsburg? Kristen, do you think we could live together? I don't know.
I mean, we've done it for how long?
I know, but like, there were other people, you know.
Wow, I won't be your roommate. Fine, I see how it is.
I think we would just, we'd have to get our own internet then.
Yeah, never mind.
we would have to get... Did you see the tweet? It never fails. Black person does something great. Here comes Megan and Kelly after the
Here she comes.
But I don't know if you've seen some of the clips, but when they were talking about you know, the discussion of how black their baby will be, or how dark. I think dark, right? I don't think they used the word black. I think it's dark.
Discussed with her. They discussed, and they privately talked to Harry about.
But then they also like, it's not the queen. You know, just to make sure, you know.
They talked about how the baby might not be one.
I think it's like, part of me is like, of course it's not the queen. The queen has a little more etiquette than that. But I think, honestly, the reason why... Well, okay, actually, this is like an awful situation, but I kind of want the monarchy to last because I'm like, Elizabeth was first and Victoria. I'm like, wait, no, Cynthia, that was centuries ago. You gotta stop. Get off the bandwagon.
Get off the bandwagon.
Let's go with the present time, Cynthia, okay? Yeah, Victoria was great, but this is a different time, Cynthia. Different time.
Different time.
But I don't know, because when they were talking about it on The View, and Meghan McCain, was like, I'm just mad that, well, she didn't use the word, this is not verbatim, but I'm mad that they didn't just say who it was. And I'm like, well, they
weren't openly gonna say that.
If they say that and God forbid it's not actually true, ooh, defamation right there. I mean, well, I mean, heck, even if it was true, I mean, that's liable. So I'm like, well, of course they didn't. I mean, they are smart people. I mean, but like, the thing is, like, because when you hear from like Meghan, you know, them say, oh, we're not saying, not because we're avoiding like a lawsuit, no, because it would ruin their reputation. I'm like, girl, stop worrying about other people, you know? But yeah, it's a tragic, and I think, I mean, it is really unnecessary. But the thing is, like, you know, when I was talking about, like, somebody tweeted, like, what would Diana, or somebody said, like, what would Diana say right now? But even just, I mean, after watching it, you know, they are living off of the money that was saved.
That Diana left. Like, it was almost like she knew in the future something was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, she knew, you know, it's...
I love Diana. That was just how things were going. They were...
I'm so sad I was born a year, because you know, she died in 97, and I'm just learning about her now, and just realizing how wonderful. See, one of, like, the first things I learned about her was, well, I saw a picture of her hugging, I think, a little girl or a little kid who had AIDS, or HIV, I can't remember what that. And that was like, what? But aren't you afraid of getting it? You know, and she showed compassion, and she made her kids go to a public school, and she wore jeans. She was this fantastic person.
Anything but the jeans.
She was this fantastic person, and the thing is, she didn't have to, I mean, you know, out of all of it, I'm just happy that the actress won. You know.
Was it following the interview? Following the interview. Oprah and, you know, Meghan and Prince Harry. So the Crown writers are gonna have a fun time writing that out. Anyway, so what happened?
Did they discuss what would have happened? Like, was that the same interview when they talked about the Crown, or was that a different interview? Because I know they talked about the Crown. I can't remember. I just can't believe that. The thing is, like, part of me is like, I can't believe they had a discussion on as to, like, how dark how black the baby will be. But then I'm like, it's the 21st century, you know. And then when I actually think about it, I'm like, women don't get paid the same. Women of color don't get paid the same, for sure.
There is definite differences.
We are. Oh, I think
it will be the 21st century, and yet
we're going to be getting LGBTQ plus, right? Am I saying it right? I feel really bad when I can't remember it. I
just stick with LGBT.
Yeah, because I don't want to be offensive.
Every time everyone backs on another thing, I'm like, at least I get the basic, and I'm honestly part of it, and at least I get part of it.
Yeah, but, you know, I think we're just now, I mean, they have some rights, but they're passing something else, which means, because I don't know if you knew this, and I was actually pissed off. You could get, well, actually, you could donate plasma, which is, I think, a different thing, same amount of plasma, but you could technically get kicked off the jury because of sexual orientation, and you couldn't for religion, race, or gender. And I thought that was so despicable, but I think that's going to be changing soon, with the recent bill that was passed in the House, maybe not the Senate, I can't remember. So hopefully we get that, but, like, I'm like, okay, we're actually not, I mean, we're pretty great, you know, because, like, overall, you know, we have the right to vote.
At least we can.
That's good, you know? Yeah, but then I'm like, okay, it's not actually that surprising, but honestly, a lot of people are really glad that they got out of the city, or out of the country, and not just out of the country, because I mean, Diana was killed in Paris, so but like they were like across like the continent.
Like Meghan ended with Harry more than likely saved her life by getting her out.
And that is so sad. That is sad.
It could have been said that they had been able to voice that's where it was going.
Although I can hypothesize.
Well, he probably did save her life.
That.
Like saying, hey.
I don't want to necessarily say the Queen had something to do with it. Because honestly, she might not have. You know. I think she'd be very stupid to do so, and I think she's a little more intelligent than that to actually be somewhat involved. But oh yeah, either what, you know, the paparazzi in quotes, in quotes,
assassination or assassins,
I mean, oh yeah, for sure. And
yeah,
that
Harry more than likely saved her by moving them to the United States.
No, but somebody was saying, I saw this on Twitter that, the Crown has to say something. I mean,
well,
you
yes,
can't.
And I'm sure they'll try to pretend that none of this happened, and they'll try to deflect all of it.
So William and Kate are very popular, and I actually kind of enjoy them because they're. I really hope that they're not
innocent in all of this.
I really hope they're innocent in all of this.
I mean, Harry said that he still has a good relationship with his brother.
Yeah, but the thing is, what is so...
Well, I don't know if good's the right way, but they've had some problems, but time will help them go back
about
together.
this whole situation is that... Because apparently, that it makes me think that the person that they had this conversation with, was his father. And he's like, yeah, we don't have a great relationship right now. Like, I actually, if any, relationship at all. But I really hope we can have one. I'm like, you don't have to say that. You don't have to be the good guy here, okay? Okay, you really don't. You can say, yeah, I won't actually have a conversation. I won't have a relationship with my father until, he gets his head out of his butt. Which will probably never happen because he's not the moral authority, moral figure. But they're like, yeah, I really hope, we can get past this. And I'm like, how do you get past this?
You don't.
But I love Megan. And it's so, no, did you hear what some of the complaint, because they were doing a, investigation on, do you know what one of her, I'll call them crimes is? Like, one of the reasons she was being a bully? Okay, I kid you not. She was a bully because she sent emails too early.
Ah. Seems very legit.
Because I was watching this on The View, which is where I mostly get all my...
Does that even make sense?
The thing is, so I don't know if you know The View, but there's this character, she's real. Her name's Sunny, okay? She's a lawyer.
Yeah, I know.
She was a lawyer, she's not, anyways. She goes, I really hope this isn't a sign of being a bully, because if this is, like, I sent emails at, like, 5 a.m. I was telling Mom that.
Yeah, no, those people, like, sending in late-night emails. Oopsie daisy.
I was like, she goes, but how are they getting the emails? I'm like, I know. The thing is, you can send me an email at 5 a.m. That does not mean I'm going to get it at 5 a.m.
You're gonna check it when you're up.
But it actually raised... So, Megan isn't very popular, mostly because she's the conservative on the show. And, well, see, the thing is...
I know what the view is.
No, so the thing is, I don't necessarily know if you're, like, a watcher. But the thing is... Okay, some of the conversations that Megan has is, like... It appears she's being very disrespectful. But that could just be... like, we're not in the room. And we're also, like, not their friend. Like, they actually are really good friends.
Yeah, I know.
Although it may not seem like it, but because
they just have different views.
Whenever they, have a... But anyway, so, because I was talking with Mom about this, I'm like, they obviously, like, they will probably never agree on politics or on a lot of issues, but you can tell that the sisterhood is there, especially because when Whoopi was sick and when she surprised them, that was real. And then when Megan came back after her father's death, that was real as well.
You could see that they were,
But Megan brought up a really, really, really good point. And I actually tweeted at Megan. I was like, yo, Megan, I never agree with you, but you hit the nail on the head on this one. Talking about, like, Megan's like, the bullying. That a lot of things that women do are put down when they are applauded for men. Like I think of this in, like, sports. When a woman loses her cool, like, look at Serena Williams. Anytime
when
Serena Williams.
When a dude does it, hey, it's fine.
But when a baseball player does it,
it's fine.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, we'll give him a fine, but, and that's, like, with a lot of female bosses, too. Like, whenever, like, because they were, like, Amy Klobuchar was, she was a bully. But I'm like, okay, was she being assertive? Was she being, like, I mean, you call a woman a bully.
Being a bully?
Or was she being a a senator who does not take crap from anyone, especially like the people that she like are employed under her, like her interns. So I'm like, I never, and it was the same with this, because I'm like, okay, I mean, you know, sending emails to you, like, are you kidding me? Like,
how dare you send me an email at 5 a.m.
No, but then because as soon as I read, you know, I saw that, I was like, okay, that's so stupid. But then I'm like, okay, what do they say the same thing with Diana when she sort of was not following the guidelines or the status quo? And I said, okay, so did they treat Diana this way? Because if they treated Diana this way, then I'm like, okay, all right, you know, now I'm gonna take this with a grain of salt. And the thing is, people are like, wow, the similarities are striking. And it just made me really sad because they're very similar.
Yes, the similarities are very striking. That's the word you used.
And one of them ended in a death, you know. And so I really, you can't not worry, honestly.
Deeply, men. Shout out with pride at this small victory.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Hi, Snipey. I'm so glad that they are out of the continent. I mean, out of Europe.
Vibe safely in the United States, living there.
No, but then somebody was talking about because you know, the Crown had at least the three main. Like, I don't really care what Charles says. I don't.